Okay, hello everyone. It is Saturday afternoon. Let's see, about 4 o'clock, and I've been experimenting in the kitchen today, and some of it's not an experiment. Some it's just some of the same stuff that I always do. But I love being in the kitchen. I love trying new things. So I want to introduce you to a meatball recipe that I think is going to be fun for you. You know, we eat a lot of ground beef. Here you go. This is my grass-fed, 2 pounds of grass-fed, organic grass-fed beef. I think I got this at Trader Joe's. It's 75% fat, and yeah, so I like that because I'm sorry, 75% lean. It's hard to find that, but it's what I like. But anyway, this is a meatball recipe. It's really delicious. I switch it up a little bit, so if you want the recipe, just listen, okay? Just write down what it is, okay? So I started with a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and I would like to grate my own, but I didn't have any. So I had the kind in the bag, and it's definitely better than the kind in the shaker. It just has a really strong taste, and that's what I like. So then I'm going to pour in a cup of beef broth, of bone broth. Now that's the difference. There's a difference in that and beef broth. Beef broth is just beef that's been boiled in water, and some of the flavor has gotten into the broth. But hey, Ann, but this is bone broth. So this is where the bones have been boiled, and they use 100% grass-fed beef. This company does. You can make your own, but it takes about 10 to 12 hours to make it. But it has a lot of collagen, a lot of good nutrients in bone broth. So I use it all the time instead of beef broth, just because I want those extra nutrients. So I'm going to put a cup of this in there, and then I'm going to use the rest of it a little bit later, so you'll figure that out in a few minutes. So I've got a tablespoon of minced garlic, fresh garlic. And when you're mincing garlic, you don't want to buy the giant kind. It just doesn't have the same flavor. I can smell that garlic, and it is so amazing. This is going to be such a delicious meal. So here I have a 1/2 tablespoon of black pepper, and I put about a teaspoon of dill weed. I love dill weed. Okay, this is a 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and then this is a teaspoon of real salt. You know that I use real salt because of the nutrients it has in it. You can actually see them. They're little brown specks or gold specks or amber specks, and that's nutrition. Regular iodized salt does not have that, so you don't want to use that. And then I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of, this is heavy whipping cream, just because I don't use milk. I use heavy whipping cream in my coffee, so that's what's going in there. Good organic fat that I love to add. And then I'm adding not quite a 1/4 cup of cassava flour. Most meatloaf or meatballs has breadcrumbs, and I don't use gluten, so I'm putting in the cassava flour. I wanted to show you that just in case you've never seen it. They do have maca flour locally, but this I ordered this from Amazon. Is cassava flour. My brother Danny travels to Africa a lot, and he said there's plenty of cassava over there. They pound it out. It's like a root, like a potato, but it's a white potato, I guess, and they pound it out, and that's what they use for flour. So I'm going to stir this all up together and get the lumps out of the flour. But this is going to be so delicious. Let me make sure I got everything. I did. Oh, about forgot the egg. So this is a duck egg. I buy these from a friend that has ducks. You know, it's probably one of the best eggs. You can see how big that yolk is, but I'm just going to whip it a little bit before I add it to this. You can certainly add regular eggs, but I like to use farm-raised, cage-free eggs. You know, ducks and chickens, they eat just about anything, but I don't want one that's been caged up and given grain, because I don't eat grain, and so I don't want to eat something that eats grain, okay? So here you go. That's just making up into a mixture here, and I'm going to add over in the ground beef. So here we go. And now you're not going to get to see the end of this recipe until later, but so I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to mix this all together. And this is going to be so good. And okay, so here we go. Now what I'm about to do is I'm going to pour the rest of that, I'm going to pour that bone broth into this bacon dish and bacon pan. Okay, I'm going to scoot over so you can see this. This is kettle and fire bone broth, by the way. But again, you can make your own. So this is going to, all right, now what I don't want to do is I don't want to really handle this a lot. I don't want to mash it tight. I don't know if you do that with your burgers or your meatloaf, but the more you handle it, the more it compacts it, and then it makes it dry and tough. So you just want to lightly work it together, okay? So here we go. I'm going to take my napkin over here, and I'm just going to pour that bone broth into this pan, okay? So what's going to happen is, and I'm actually going to add some more here, so that's about 1.5 cups. My pan is not very level. You can tell it's been cooked a lot. So I'm going to put these meatballs over into this pan, just really lightly. Honestly, that's probably a little big. So they're going to be about 1.5 inches across. I'm going to put them over into the pan now. I didn't mix it up good enough, so I want my ingredients all in there. Okay, so I'm going to put this over into the pan. Anybody have any questions, just holler at me, okay? Comment. Yep, so here we go. So this is instead of frying the meatballs. Now I can totally fry the meatballs in some avocado oil, but that's kind of a messy process. Hey Sarah. So I'm just gonna put them over in here like this, and I'm gonna turn my oven on 400, but I can't do that yet because I've got something cooking in my oven. Well, it's not actually cooking. So what would it be? It's in a warm oven. It's something I honestly, I don't even know. It's been years since I've made this, but I made some bread, and it's actually gluten-free bread, and I'm really excited to try it. It's kind of touted as the best bread. You see, as I work on these meatballs, they get bigger and bigger. Yeah, just because I'm trying to finish this up, and I hope I'm going to have enough room in this pan. I think I will. Anyway, you're certainly not going to waste any. All right, so I'm going to cook these on 450 degrees, and you're just going to be amazed at how easy this is. So they can be close together. They don't have to be, you know, spread apart. Now yours, if you're a C-type personality, which a lot of my friends are, okay, there's my bread. All right, so I'm going to finish this up so I don't have to wash my hands twice. All right, I got 2 more to do, and they'll be done. So here we go. What a beautiful day it is outside today. Got a little bit much in that one. Yep. You want them to equal in size because then they'll cook evenly. So I got one little one up here. I'm going to add a little bit back to it. And here we go. So I'm going to wipe off my hands, sit this aside, and take this out and show you what it is. So this is amazing. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to turn this oven up to 450 because that's what these cook on. Yeah. All right. I'm preheating the oven. Turning off my timer. Okay, so here we go. I've got my bread. This is bread in here. And come back a little bit later, and I'm going to show you how I bake. You know, I'm going to show you the end product of the meatballs, and I'm going to show you how I make up this sauce. Now, shame on me for not making my own sauce, but I love this Bertolli. I actually add a can of tomato paste because I love the taste of tomato paste. This is organic. Walmart has an amazing amount of organic products. I love it. I'm sure Bi-Lo and other places do, but I'm one of these. I don't like to do a lot, don't like to go to a lot of different grocery stores. So I am going to go ahead. I can, you know, because I can go ahead and stick this. So what this broth does in here is it steam cooks these meatballs. And you're going to be really surprised at how pretty they are and how good they cook up. I'm actually going to put it down here. That may not be the best spot. I think I'll lower it and put it down one more. I think I'll put it right here in the middle. And here we go. Yeah, so that should be done in a little while. So I wanted to, one of the main reasons I wanted to jump on here today, I mean, I was just cooking in the kitchen, doing some food prep so we could have some good food. But I want to tell you about something I've got coming up. And I don't know when I have been so excited about something. Okay, so as you can see, I know it's twisted around the wrong way, but it says, as a man thinketh, okay? That's what it says, and it's based on the book by James Allen. So this is a study book. I'm getting ready to do an online mastermind on this book. This book will change your life. I know it changed mine. I've studied this book with my mentor, Paul Martinelli and Roddy Galbraith. I want to read you just one quote from this book. This little book, if you buy it, it's almost a pamphlet. I think it's 7,000 words. It'd take you 45 minutes to read it. But it was written and published in 1903 by James Allen, and it's a life-changing. Anybody on here read it? Hey, Winona. Have you read this book? If you haven't read this book, then I would just encourage you. It's the book you need to read. And I don't usually tell people what they need to do, but honestly, this book will literally change your life. And the fact that we're going to study it, I'm licensed to teach it, and so I'm going to be offering it to you over the next few weeks. We're actually going to start on October the 6th. So it'll be 6 weeks, and it'll be a life-changing experience for you. I know the first time I went through it, I couldn't believe that I was missing that I was missing that piece of how to grow myself and how to go inside myself and find out who I really was and to decide who I really wanted to be. And it changed my life, and it'll change yours. So I want to read one verse. Oh, it's not a verse. It's a one. So here we go. On page, so this is the study guide you'll get. It's $9.99 on Amazon, and there's additional stuff to just the book in here, so that's why I've got this. But here we go. The vision. Listen at this now. This is how this book rolls. All right. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you build your life by, and this is what you will become. So when you think about that, the vision, what I see in my mind's eye about my life, and what the ideals that I hold for myself, that's what I have become, like from the past, and that's what I will become. It's kind of one of those things, if you believe it, you can have it. Now, I'm not a name it and claim it person, okay? There's work that has to be done to change. I know the work that I did to change myself, okay? But if you don't have a vision of it, you can't have it. You can't have a better you if you don't have a vision of what that looks like. So that's what we're going to do in here. If you're interested, I need you to give me your email, because I'm going to be sending out emails about the program. There's going to be a limited number that can get in. It's not going to be expensive. It's going to be very affordable. I paid hundreds of dollars to get the license to teach this, and the reason I did is because I saw the value in my own life and in the people's lives that I went through the program with. So I am gonna, there will be a charge, of course, but it'll be worth every penny. And here's what I tell my clients: you don't ever ask how much. You ask how far. How far can I go? Not how much time will it take, how much will it cost, but how far can I go? And going through this study with me, I'm just going to tell you, and it's not because of me, it's because of this work, this great work. Just think about it. It's one of the most read books in the world. John Maxwell, my mentor, has read it every year since he was, I think, 12 years old, for his whole life, and he's 70 years old now. So that, and he's voted the #1 leadership guru in the world, John Maxwell. And so if he thinks enough of it to read it every year, then obviously there's something that we can get from it. So I just want to tell you about that. Come back a little bit later. I'm going to jump back on, and I'm going to show you the meatballs. I'm going to show you the bread. I'm so excited about this bread. And yeah, I'm going to show you how to put the meatballs in the sauce, which, you know, you can do that. But we'll have fun, and let's see, I'm thinking maybe a couple of hours. You can watch the replay if you don't get it. But I hope you have a great day, and please send me your email, message me your email so that you can get on this mailing list to get the information about this study that's going to be starting October the 6th. And if you just want to get on my email list, comment either, if you're not comfortable with that, putting your email below, then private message me your email, or email me at nancy@ahealthrevival.com and send me your email. I'll add you to my list. And but I'm going to be sending out some really encouraging emails about your thinking and your thoughts and how you can change your life by what you're thinking. So have a great day.